Serving with Maria Stierbu, the setter. A near collapse there from the Tar Heels, and instead it all pays off as they're able to get the opening point.
First point here for the Tar Heels, but still a good first serve from Stierbu. Getting them out of system, making them have to move, and that's going to be really, really key for Cal in this matchup.
The setter Zoe Barrett serving for North Carolina. Here's a rally now developing. Stierbu there with the dig. Sophia Johnson settles underneath it. Little two-hand push, and they'll wave that off and call a double.
A tough play there on that. Trying to do something different. They'll move on to this next point.
So Barrett with North Carolina in front 2-0. Tough one to handle here. They're in trouble. This one put across, free ball for the Tar Heels. Quick set to the middle, quick result, courtesy of the middle blocker, Jackie Taylor.
Jackie Taylor, so athletic in the middle at 6'1". She is the team's block leader with 118 on the season.
Sophia Johnson handling now to Ashley Lee, the outside hitter.
And as I
rebuffed, and then it finds a home, courtesy of Carbonara.
As I mentioned, the block leader getting a pretty good stop on that one, but Cal able to come back with an answer of their own on that play.
Defensive specialist Elise Lau on to serve. We've seen her come on in the last few weeks as a serving specialist for this Cal Bear team. Targeting Hampton. Stierbu looking for Peyton Desjardins. A chance now for Chelsea Thorpe. Overpass from Desjardins on the dig. Tar Heels get in system. The tip, the dig, beautifully done by Taylor. Back row hangs tough for Cal. Here's Lee, soft touch. Tar Heels go outside once again. Thorpe finds a home.
Thorpe, 6'3", outside and opposite, taking a big swing there, finding space on the top of the hand. So starting out slow and steady play on both sides.
Here's Haley Pierce to serve.
Good pass there from Desjardins.
Down the line, Ashley Lee.
Ashley Lee had 8 kills in the last match. Talked about this a few weeks ago, that she's stepped into this starting role here as the right side. She's been another reliable player for Stierbu in this offense.
Defensive specialist Sophia Johnson, the libero here for the Bears today, which it so often is. Desjardins. Back set here, Pierce. And that's Chelsea Thorpe. Give the point to North Carolina. They're in front 5-2.
Chelsea Thorpe already dominant, 2 good kills on each side of the net. Once she's on the outside in row 1, and now in rotation 3 here, hitting on the right side. Transfer from Ohio State.
And another, the ace there from North Carolina. So a great start here. I just have that question coming off of a sweep against a team like Stanford. Would the Tar Heels be able to get up for a team like Cal? So far the answer is yes. Michaela Hayden in system.
Hayden with a nice swing there. She comes in, she's ready, takes a big swing, and I like that approach and that turn cross court on that swing.
Defensive specialist Francesca Popescu to serve.
Popescu had 5 aces in that last match. But that one, a little easier to serve for UNC to handle. It's a textbook set to the middle in that attack there for UNC.
Middle blocker Lauren Shutter, ACC Defensive Player of the Week coming in, able to terminate there. Speaking of ACC honors, here's the freshman of the week, the setter, Sienna Kaza. Block. All Tar Heels early.
Lainey Smith with a big block there. She had 7 blocks against Pitt from last week. So another big blocker for the Tar Heels.
So we'll stick with Kaza out of Mars, Pennsylvania. Little dump. Good idea from Steerboot. Thorpe, the tip, the dig, Johnson. Desjardins, the gather, blocked. To Hayden, off target.
Tough one there. A little bit of missed timing. Ball not quite high enough, but I like the idea from Steerboot, really trying to get Hayden involved there in the offense.
Timeout called by Cal. North Carolina off to a great
today for Cal coming into this. We know they're coming into this match with a lot of confidence after that win, but UNC is a very consistent team, a very steady team, and this is a big challenge for the Bears today. And for UNC, the challenge is trying to maintain that level of play against a team that technically they are supposed to beat.
No touch there from North Carolina. That's a attack error from Michaela Hayden. Now a 4-0 run here for the Tar Heels. They're up 10-3. Steerboot, Desjardins. Now Hayden. Good blast there. Great hustle by the Tar Heels. Smith puts it across. Lainey Smith. The opposites come on. Steerboot, Desjardins. Trying to go away from that block. That's how impressive the Tar Heels have been up front. It's making Cal think twice where to put the ball.
Exactly as you just said. We can see a little bit of that difference here with Desjardins. You can see in real time her trying to figure out how to hit against this UNC block. And their block has been so dominant as we've seen so far. They're a top 20 team in the nation with their blocking. And that's something that we're seeing Cal have to figure out right now.
Hayden on the slide, and it went wide. So a good look there for Cal. They just could not place the ball where they wanted to.
And for Cal, really, as I just said, the challenge is going to be adjusting around the block in front of them. Trying to stay in tempo, but also for UNC, good reads and really good spots that they're lining up on their blocking defense.
And that'll work for Michaela Hayden. They get her in some space, and she knows what to do with it.
That was a great set there from Steerboot. She puts her in a place where she gets to be a little bit on the net, but not too tight. She had options on that swing. As you go up, we see her. She takes that ball down the line. A really smart shot there as you see the middle starting to come in kind of late, almost take away that seam for Hayden. So a great swing there.
Outside hitter Peyton Desjardins. Long set across the way to Sophie Hampton. She's been quiet thus far. Carbonara looking for that back row tip. Back to Hampton. That's what she does.
Hampton with a big swing to start off. And she just such a high flyer, finding space even sometimes above the block. And so for the defense, it's always a hard one because she's so good at being able to hit the ball long, but also when she gets up in the way she does and that set is tighter to the net, she can hit that ball almost straight down.
Always nice when you can jump higher than the block. Hayden, good pancake there from the Tar Heels. And then they finish it off with a kill.
Sharp swing there. Take another look at that.
This is Maddie May making this happen.
Sharp swing from Pierce. A little off the net, but finds space on the side of the block.
Turning to the NCAAs last year for the first time since 2021. Mike Shaw replacing the legend Joe Segula after 33 seasons. Now Shaw in his third season. But he's trying to build this team into one that talks annually about Sweet 16, Elite Eight, Final Four. So we're not there yet. That's where they want to be.
They're trying to get a double call from that last play. You can see Coach Malcolm, she's very upset with the ref on that for missing that call. So he's going to stop and talk to the setter.
Yellow card there dealt out from the up referee.
High tension here in this matchup. And I know for Cal it's frustrating, as I said, to come off of that win and really wanting to come into this with a lot more firepower. But we talked about this on Friday. We'll talk about it a lot again today. It's the fundamentals. We got to get some of these passes on so Steerboot can run this offense.
Overpass there. Good job by Stierbu to attack that ball. It ends up being North Carolina's point, but you like the hustle.
Definitely like the hustle, and that's what Cal is really needing right now to come out of this.
Jen Malcolm was talking about that double earlier. Could see her kind of mouthing towards the referee. Same call that went against Cal previously. Cal was called for a double earlier in this match. Wanted that kind of reciprocal there to go against North Carolina. Didn't go her way. Maddie May again just laying out here. Carbonara with the left power tip. Hustle up from the seat of her pants there. You love the idea from Kaza to try to keep it up, but couldn't do it.
Carbonara sneaking that ball through on the side of the block. We really haven't seen her take a big swing yet. Not really being able to get on that ball, but still trying to find a way, as I said, keep that ball in play, but also trying to find a way to score on some of those tips. We saw her do that there in that last play.
Meanwhile, in the live action, North Carolina adds another. They go in front now 17-5. So they are dialed in here after the off day yesterday. Played Stanford on Friday night down to Maples.
I talked about that consistency from this team. They are executing at a very high level right now. Not a lot of unforced errors or mistakes from the Tar Heels either so far in this point of the match. I mean, they're hitting 500 as a team.
Conversely, nothing going right for the Cal Bears right now, hitting at a 0% on their attack efforts. Now negative 0.37 after that last miscue. Stierbu for Carbonara.
Much better.
Even when they're getting space, it's just not clicking for them. How much is that thinking about that block again?
I think that's a big part of it. And I saw from that last play, finally that pass, that was, a forward pass that's right on the net, something that Stierbu can set anywhere on the court, trying to get that ball to Carbonara. And I think for Carbonara, you can see when she went up to hit that ball, those two big blocks in front of her. Not the same swing we saw from her on Friday night where she's really just going after it. I really want to see Cal go after it. We're seeing that from UNC. They're coming up. No matter what set they're getting, they're going after it with their swing. And for Cal, there's a lot of hesitation on the floor right now.
20-5 now after the 17th service ace on the season for May. Tar Heels sprinting to the finish here in this first set. So Cal targeting Carbonara. She's getting some clean swings. The placement just not there right now for the freshman.
Yeah, and I think for her too, sometimes one of the things that I've seen players have done, and I've done it myself when I've played, is when you're not feeling comfortable, you try to go for what you think is just the standard shot for you that's going to work. And right now I would have loved on that last play to see her turn that ball down line. You're trying to go for your cross-court shot. It's not working out. They're closing that on the block. Turn the ball somewhere else. Try something different.
Speaking of something different, Stierbu center dump. That stops a 5-0 Tar Heels run.
So we'll see Phils now back on the floor. See if this gives the Bears maybe a different look. We get closer to the end of this first set.
Dominique Phils, the sophomore outside hitter. He's had some nice efforts for the Cal Bears this season. That'll be 4. And back-to-back points here. Sophie Scott getting her second start in a row, replacing the injured Sawyer Thompson. Thompson's return unknown, wearing a boot on her leg, undisclosed injury, and Sophie Scott has gotten the opportunity here to stand in. Service error, and they'll give one back, so 22-7 in this first set.
A tough error there from the Bears. Again, as we talked about, some of those unforced errors that also can apply to the serve. In a tough moment like this, you really want to keep those serves in, but also you do want pace on them. You want to challenge serve receive on the other side.
Phils, May with the dig. They'll go outside here, and that's too long.
They're looking to see if they might challenge that play. I think for Pierce, she took a big, steady swing to the deep corner seam there, but we'll give that point to Cal.
And now Lau returning to serve, 22-8. It's been all Tar Heels in this opening set. Little tip shot there from Thorpe. And on the response, Bears can't keep it in play into the antenna. And now 23-8.
Just a tough play there, but a really great tip from Thorpe right over the block. Very steady, a good spot, taking the setter out, running the offense there on that play.
Lee, big swing, long run, and right above our area. No room there for the Tar Heels.
And that ball flying high in the air, landing on my back actually. Couldn't turn all the way around to stop it. See that ball come land from someone's hand there, but a big swing, and now UNC.
Last touch off Naya, out of bounds. Quick set there, and another kill. And that will quickly bring up set point here in the first, 24-9.
So for Cal, the response here, stay locked in it. It's tough, down 9-24.
And an ace off the tape. What a way to end it from Jackie Taylor.
And Jackie Taylor, she is the ace. Break that from them. You want to start challenging them so you don't let them run away with the rest of this match. And that's Cal's challenge. And for UNC, their challenge is to come in and continue to do what they did in the first set.
Yeah, very frustrating there in that opening set. And that's a good start for the Cal Bears. The challenge, right, for the Bears, for their staff? How do you channel that frustration into something good?
You see when talking with the team, that's sometimes among that conversation, how we come back out on the court and show up, and the energy that we bring, and try to maintain that energy, that fire, that positivity to still come in and play well as we come into the second.
Overpass there, controlled by Zoe Barrett, nicely done, and then Ashley Lee adds a kill, so a 2-0 start for the Bears in the second.
And clearly, from those conversations, we've seen, even though it's still early, a little bit of a change here. As I talked about earlier, wanting to see more aggressive swings. I'm already seeing that here with Ashley Lee.
Ashley Lee is always good for a positive energy infusion. Takes a big swing and often gets some big results. North Carolina comes right back with a blast of their own.
Pierce taking a big swing. She's one of those players that is so steady when she swings and just finds really good spots. It's very effective in doing that. Pierce, transfer from Virginia Tech. 5 kills against Pitt, already putting pressure on the serve receive, but that serve there from her and able to push points.
Good block there up front for North Carolina. Chelsea Thorpe, the Ohio State transfer in her second season now with North Carolina, able to turn that one back.
We've got quite a couple of transfers on the floor for UNC in their starting lineup. Lainey Smith as well. I saw her a little bit in the first set from Illinois, my former school.
So much movement within the ACC and within really all college sports now, but you have to look at that roster closely. Rarely is there a team that doesn't have some sort of transfer, some newcomer from somewhere.
Lots of different teams trying to rebuild in that way, and although for UNC they do have some of that movement and some new players and new faces, there are a lot of prior connections too. I know we talked maybe a little bit earlier on about the Coach Shaw coming from Triangle Volleyball Club out in North Carolina, and a few of the girls on the team that also played for the club, so you're seeing that in some of those connections on the floor too.
3-3. Back to the Tar Heels once again. Collision there on the back row. Hayden now on the move. Back set here. Big swing, big dig from Lau, turning away Thorpe. And then what a hammer from Desjardins.
That dig from Lau, so good and such a good read coming in for that ball. That is the energy we were missing from Cal in that first set. And we're seeing it now, that defensive effort. And then you see Desjardins, and you see the difference in energy when she went to swing at that ball, scoring.
Bears bringing some fight here in the second. Thorpe looking for a tip. Not this time. Point to the Bears. They go in front 5-3.
And pushing a couple of more unforced errors and some hitting errors for UNC here early on in the second.
Looking for Hampton. They'll go back to her. Good dig there by Desjardins. Keeps it in play. Carbonara stuffed. Try it again. This time through the block. Barron now. Back set. Thorpe. Hammer down.
A big swing there from Chelsea Thorpe. She had a career high 22 kills, hitting .475 back in September, but against Pitt, 12 kills. So very dominant on that right side, coming in with a lot of firepower on that swing.
3 kills so far this afternoon. She'll take a breather. And then a service error from Kaza.
Coming in with this 6-2 change. We see Lainey Smith now, another opposite.
Michaela Hayden serving. Right back to Hampton, rattles the tape off the Bears, and the point for North Carolina. Now we've seen Cal a number of occasions target Sophie Hampton with their serve, but she quickly handles those serves and gets right back into the offense.
Yeah, I think for Cal, the challenge is going to be they really need to challenge her on the serve, sending her back a little bit more. Right now, the serves are landing kind of in her platform. She's really only having to take one step up to pass the ball. And she's able to get on her route. As we can see, she's very athletic, very fast. You really want to move her around a lot more if you're going to go after her on the serve.
Little tip shot there, controlled by the Bears. Then a block. Saw Lainey Smith come on and help close the block on that right side.
Lauren Shutter, 6'2" middle blocker, also a transfer from Michigan State. Also a very, very good blocker for this UNC team. So that is a solid block for Cal's outside pin.
Back row Desjardins, and that'll be a violation across the 10-foot line on that attack from the back row.
I think her foot caught the line there. That ball just a little tighter. So unfortunately that error then resulted in a point for UNC. So they're catching back up here. Now
11 attack errors for the Bears. They go middle, quick slam. That's Sophie Scott at 6'4" tall, using her size to her advantage.
We talked a little bit about this on Friday, just watching that connection with Stierbu and with Scott. Obviously, as we said, newer connection with her coming in and starting now twice this weekend, and we're seeing that connection develop, especially in that last play. What a great solid swing. And look at that.
And then Scott turns it back on the Hampton try. So first the kill and then the rejection.
A big block and a great read from Scott to stay in the middle there. She's reading that ball being set to Hampton in the back row, but Scott doesn't get rattled. She doesn't move, stays solid, and goes up for the block.
Now 8-7 Cal. Down the line and off the mark on the Smith try. Point to Cal, 9-7. So what a turnaround here from the Bears. They are right with the Tar Heels here, step for step, in this second set.
Much better look, and as you said, a turnaround in this second set. We're seeing the team that we saw on Friday night playing with a lot of confidence, taking risks and challenges in the second.
Smith through the block. Johnson keeps it up. Scott pushes it across. And then a violation. This will go against North Carolina. Timeout called by the Tar Heels here in the second.
67 so far in the match, 2 blocks, so already starting off very strong. We've seen that development of her connection on the floor as one of the starting middle blockers with her setter and Stierbu. So a bright spot for the Bears.
Dig from Desjardins, overpass. Right back, and Haley Pierce makes quick work. We saw Thompson moments ago on the bench wearing the boot, so hopefully she can return to action soon here.
Pierce with a really solid swing there. She's one of those hitters, too, that she doesn't need to slam the ball. She doesn't have to hit it so hard to find really good space. She always has a good pace on her swings and finding good spots on the floor. So just a very steady player for UNC.
11-8 lead for Cal. Tar Heels race to the win in the opener, 25-9. Here's Pierce, just punches that one across.
That ball set a little too tight for her pace, unfortunately, so not able to make something happen on that one, but a great swing there for Lee, seeing that she kind of had the line open a little bit on that outside hand of Pierce.
So Lee there with the kill. Here's Lau from St. Ignatius College Prep. Big swing, cross court, winner right there for Lainey Smith.
Lainey Smith, great swing there from the sophomore. She's had some great performances in the last couple of weeks. In Stanford, 6 kills, hit 200, 4 blocks. Very solid option for UNC.
Zoe Barrett with the ace.
Barrett, starting setter, 497 assists on the season. Very solid leader for the Tar Heels too.
Johnson now, the set today, Jardin, and she is stuffed. Chelsea Thorpe up front.
So 4 blocks as a team for UNC, and Thorpe just so dominant on those blocks there. That makes 2 for her so far in the match.
Back set to Lee. Thorpe keeps it up. Quick set to the middle, and that works the block well.
Jackie Taylor coming in for that attack. Also someone who's so athletic, and that runs in her family. Her dad played football for Miami, and so did her mom. Her mom played soccer at Miami as well. She comes from a family of athletes.
Big dig there from Johnson. Another swing again from Phils. The Carolina block was there, but they couldn't keep it in play.
A great swing, much needed point there from Phils. Back on the floor for the Bears.
13-12 lead for Cal. Bears had built a little cushion in this second set, but North Carolina erasing that.
I think for North Carolina, maybe weren't expecting this from Cal to really come back with a lot of firepower, especially after how they won that first set. So now Cal really challenging this team to have to step up.
Service, or rather attack error there into the net.
Tough ball there. That set, out of system set, really off the net for Phils. Trying to make something happen. That's always a hard one. You don't want to take a hard swing at a ball like that where you're a little bit off. You see her leaning back as she goes to try to hit that ball. You want to try to keep that one high and inside court.
Defensive specialist Julia Bollinger serving now for North Carolina. Here's Lee, blocked right away as the defense was prepared. Second try, tries to go over that block and goes too long. And this is a lot of what we saw in the first set for the Cal Bears.
Yeah, and that's a tough one there for Stierbu. That last set, just a little too tight. Unfortunately, that ball got to the blocker's hands before Lee could really even do anything with it. Tries to save it, and we saw her going up for that second swing. Again, a solid block in front of her and trying to find high hands. But Phils has been good those last couple of swings. She had an error before, but she's been doing pretty well in the last couple of swings to hit high hands and force that ball to go outside of the court.
Phil's blocked, but gets the point. Popescu returns to serve. 14-14 here in the second.
Popescu had 5 aces against Duke on Friday night. She is one of their serving specialists, and we see that already making UNC scramble.
Hampton controls that. Here's Hayden, rebuffed. Hampton, hands high, and slams it down.
A huge block for Hampton there. So solid, just goes straight up and really nowhere to go on that swing in front of Hampton.
Had her breakout season a year ago, almost 300 kills, 39 blocks. Now a service error here from North Carolina. 15s. So we play along here in the second set. This one nowhere near as decisive as the first. Phils, the Iowa transfer now, serving for Cal.
A very tight set here.
Hampton. Again, they look at her on the serve focus. She's able to handle those well, and it comes right back to her for the easy kill.
I said it in the first set. Just not challenging her enough on the serve. I mean, for her to go up and hit a ball like that after passing, and I mean, we see why, you know, she's the AVCA Player of the Year watch list. She's on that list for a reason. She's so dominant.
Left-hand try from Carbonara, and they don't get enough on it to the Tar Heels. That one falls short of the net. 16-16. Who will have the last word in this second set?
Cal looking much steadier in this set, and really great showing so far. Both of these teams battling.
Hampton tools the block and gets another kill, so Sophie Hampton now 5 kills as North Carolina edges in front here, 17-16.
And for Hampton, really just having her way on the net right now. Cal not really having an answer for her on the defense.
Didn't have her way on Friday night, just 6 kills, hit negative .125. That was a rare off night for someone who has been dominant all season. Wind up there, off the touch, and Lainey Smith gets the kill.
Great swing there for Smith.
Came over to the stands and sought out anyone wearing Carolina blue to say hello, where you're from, how do you have a passion for the Tar Heels, able to connect with some of the fans here that have come to support North Carolina a long way from home. Carbonara the dig. Tough set there. Credit Smith for putting that across, fading backwards, and then it all pays off with a block. Shutter and Smith.
What a huge block there. I mean, completely closed up that spot on the net. Look at those hands, both solid. Great read there, and also timing, which is so important on the block. They were up and steady and in sync in that play.
Hampton keeps that up after the block. Little roll shot there from Pierce. Carbonara, the dig from May. Pierce again. Popescu keeps it alive. Scott, Hampton diving. They run out of real estate. The kill for the Bears.
Much needed point there for the Bears. They are trying to stay in this. Had the lead for a couple of times throughout this set, but trying to come back. UNC really trying to push to finish the second set.
Cal
Great
led
play there.
12-8 at one point in this second set, trailing now 19-17. Phil's on the Smith attack. It's Lee. Through that block. Pierce. Johnson. Carbonara pushes to the back row. Hampton ready. Smith. Scott, a joust at the net, and the Tar Heels win it. Shutter's there again.
Another block for Shutter. That is her 4th block already so far on the set and on the match. So we see her go up. She's steady. She sees it on that one. That's just tough. Need a little bit more coverage there on that quick play from the Bears.
Tough serve from Maddie May. Lee. And that's long on the cross-court attack. So North Carolina now up 21-17. They've battled back from a 4-point deficit. Now they're up 4.
Tough for the Bears. We're kind of seeing some of those unforced errors that were really tough for them in the first set.
Big back set, and Carbonara finishes it off.
There's the big swing from Carbonara that we saw on Friday. Been a little more up and down today, but seeing her come in and really go up confidently to take a big swing at that ball.
4th kill for Carbonara. Lau serving 21-18 here in the second. Hampton now looking for Pierce. Finds that back corner.
And I talked about Pierce there. Now for Lau, that was a great serve. The pass from Pierce, she has an out-of-system set, but I've talked about how she goes up to swing. She's so steady, and I've said she finds good spots on the floor. She doesn't need to swing super hard. It's just the type of player that she is. She doesn't swing super hard at the ball, but finds space and finds that back corner where she can score.
Haley Pierce adding now 5 kills. Lee rejected. This Tar Heels block as advertised. Tough to get through.
7 blocks for the Tar Heels. And this is something for Cal. We're seeing them try to adjust on the offense, going up against this block. Yeah, and we've seen her steady momentum build throughout her career at UNC. And as you said, now she is the kills leader for this team. She is someone that our team looks to score a lot of points for them. Oh, and that call there.
They're going to call 4 on that.
But
North
either way,
Carolina staff saying, let's not challenge it. The players thought that one of those deflections shouldn't have counted as an official hit. It was tough. There was 2 there that were pretty close.
but I think either way, even with them challenging that, unfortunately, Pierce did get blocked on that play, so we'll see what the conversation is. There's Coach Shaw trying to ask some questions about that last call. And I think, like you said, the other coaches were kind of saying, hey, let's just move on. You got blocked. Next point.
Yeah, he had the green card in his hand, so he was talking to the referee to see, is this something I may want to challenge, to try to understand it a bit better. There's always that chat about what's on the menu before I want to buy. And he decides against it, and we play on. Thorpe denied. Back to her. Bad set there, and that's trouble from the jump there for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, that's just a tough one, especially on a play like that. You know your hitter is still getting back to her position to be able to attack the ball. So for that one, setting that ball just way too tight to the net, unfortunately. I know she was trying to push tempo on that, but Thorpe just not ready to take a swing at that ball.
Sophia Johnson serving for the Cal Bears, 23-20 here in the second. Back row, Hampton. That'll be off target. She said, my bad. Didn't have a clean hit on that ball.
So some rare back-to-back errors for this UNC team. We really haven't seen that much. All of that coming together for this UNC squad.
Thorpe crushes that one.
That ball, she takes a swing at that one. It just goes right under the arms of Hayden there as she goes up. That's another one too. You just want to turn a little bit. That outside hand, left hand on that ball, left just a little bit too much space for Thorpe to find underneath her there.
So here's set point in the second. 24-21. Cal led by 4 early in this set. North Carolina wrangled back control of the lead. Will play on. Service error. 24-22.
So some changes and some substitutions here for the Bears. Anne-Marie Garrett coming in. Popescu back to serve. And as I said earlier, she is one of Cal's serving specialists. She's one of their leaders and aces.
Here's Popescu. And Marie O'Gara on as well now for the Bears. Swing there from Thorpe. The dig from Lau. Fills. Thorpe again. Down the line and a winner to wrap up this second set. Chelsea Thorpe, 25-20.
Just errors, and I think for Cal, they've realized that now. So as we've seen them make that change in the second set, it's going to be about maintaining that. But also, if you have those moments where it gets a little bit tough, how do you come out of that quicker in this set?
Third set underway. The outside hitter, Bridget Malone, has come on, the freshman from Highland Ranch, Colorado. But number 10 for the Cal Bears has the first word.
Phil's coming in. She came in the last set, a little bit later, coming off of the bench, but had some successful swings for the Bears, putting a lot of pace on the ball, finding space around the block there, the outside hand.
Lau serving, going right at Malone. They'll set it up here. Lau the dig there on the back row. And now Phil's. Maddie May. Long set to Malone down the line and in. That's a nice piece of hitting.
Malone getting some looks now. The 6'1" freshman from Colorado has had some moments throughout the season where she has come in to play just a little bit. And now in this match, giving her some more playing time on the floor for UNC.
Just her 23rd set this season. Lee rebuffed. Bears look at organized. Fills. Oh, that's a beautiful strike. finding that back corner.
Bills with her third kill, hitting 200 on the match so far. So coming in as another bright spot for the Bears. Needing a little pick-me-up too on the offense here.
Sophia Johnson serving. Quick middle. That's off target.
And looking for a touch there on that swing of Jackie Taylor, but they will not get it on that play. No touch for the Bears and that point back. Now we see the difference again. We talked about that momentum shift. Already 3-1.
There's a potential ace as Hampton had it off her hands, but credit the Tar Heels again. They really recover well. And then Lee finishes it off with a kill.
Even that last play, that serve from Johnson, a rare, tough first pass from Hampton. She's handled most of what has been given to her on the serve receive, but Johnson really finding that spot. And I said that earlier. I said, make her move. You've got to make her take steps back, and that's exactly what she did, but you don't want to give her ones that land in her platform.
Thorpe denied. The block is there from Michaela Hayden.
A great block there. We saw Thorpe being able to take off in the last set with those last few swings of hers, but look at that solid block from the Bears. Hayden straight over and tight to the net.
All smiles from a senior leader, Michaela Hayden.
Michaela Hayden, she's now 8th all-time
Through the
in
block
career
there.
blocks.
Jackie
Wow.
Taylor.
So a point there for UNC. And a battle here as the Tar Heels are trying to make their way back in this deficit, led by Cal.
Bollinger, that'll be an ace, running out of hits. Julia Bollinger, the sophomore, her 9th ace on the year.
Bollinger comes in as a DS. She knows her role. She plays good back row defense, trying to push some points on the serve, and it's very solid serve for her.
And then the point back to Cal as North Carolina into the antenna there on their attack. We may see a challenge.
I think they're challenging that there was no touch.
They looked at it, but
on that
looks
play.
as if Coach Shaw has opted against. So it'll stay 6-3.
The second time that coaching staff has decided not to go forward with the challenge. They think, hey, let's just get it back next point.
That's confidence in your attack. Popescu, excellent dig. Fills, puts it where they are.
That is the first time I've been able to see from the Bears getting a ball actually through the seam of the block. UNC has been so solid the entire match on that one. Phil's finding space between the two hitters on the other side.
Service error there from Popescu. They give one back now, 7-4.
So Bears still leading here. A couple of tough plays and some errors, but
now Taylor. Steerbu. Nobody where they were supposed to be. Hampton floats that one. Pancake from Popescu. They keep it up. And then a violation, they'll call a double against Cal, saying that one over the net was a double hit.
the tough part is, I think, from that ball that landed right over the back of Steerbu, even though Popescu went up and got the pancake on that one, it was the way that Steerbu threw the ball off of her because it came so close to her face on that. That was the play there, so unfortunately, 2 contacts, and that point will go to UNC.
7-5, but a service error gives a point right back on the Taylor attempt. 8-5 now.
A rare miss for Jackie Taylor, one of the best servers on UNC's team. I know they were really looking for that serve run from her that she usually likes to go on when she's back at the service line.
Again, looking at Hampton. Soft touch there from Shutter. And the Bears can't get there in time.
Tough play. A couple of tough plays on the back row defense in these last few plays for Cal. A lot of great defensive effort, but sometimes not really in the best spots. And that's always the hard thing when you're really trying to go for it and go after really tough plays and a tough ball that's landing really short, is trying to keep the ball off in a high point where someone else can easily get to it and try to make a play out of it.
Sienna Kaza. An ace! Add another. This is the 6th service ace for the Tar Heels this afternoon, and they make it a 1-point difference now, 8-7.
The freshman setter, Kaza, earned ACC Weekly Honors for her performances against SMU and Pitt last week.
Another! Dances off the tape, back-to-back aces for Kaza.
What a tough momentum shift for the Bears here, leading by 4 points only a few points ago, and UNC steadily chipping away at that lead, and we're seeing that especially with these last few serves here from Kaza.
Overpass here, and the point to the Bears. They'll get this against North Carolina.
UNC does not like that call. They feel like it was fair play with the ball going up. They felt like it was on the plane of the net where Shutter could go up and be aggressive, but they will say, okay, they're not going to argue that one. They continue to let that point go to Cal.
Shutter, soft touch there. Phil's able to put that across somehow, and then on the slide, that's Smith. Carbonara pushing to that back row, looking for a touch. Officials say no such thing. The point to North Carolina now, 9-9.
So Carbonara back in, trying to make some plays here.
If you're North Carolina, you have to be fairly happy. It's 9-9, you're hitting 091. Cal's hitting, they were just hitting 600, now 455, as well as they've hit pretty much all afternoon. Aces like this continue to help the cause of the Tar Heels. It's their 3rd ace in the last few points.
This is a point where for the Bears, you go back and, for example, Johnson, obviously the leader of the backcourt, and everyone has to communicate and have some conversations about where they want to stand on the serve receive. It's a tough one there.
The dig from Hampton. The tick from Malone. That's in for the point. And now North Carolina goes in front by 2, 11-9. They just do not get frazzled no matter what the Bears are able to do effectively.
UNC, we've only seen a couple of moments where they had a couple of unforced errors back-to-back, but for the most part have remained steady. And for the Bears in this moment, these last few plays, just what I'm seeing is a lot of miscommunication. Some miscommunication on the floor and the serve receive, some miscommunication on who's taking what ball on the defense when they're in game and in play. And so right now, as you see the team coming together, trying to figure out, hey, we've got to figure it out in this next play. What are some of the adjustments we need to make there? And that comes from that communication, someone taking the lead.
Women's hoops tonight. Women's volleyball up against it here against a really good North Carolina team as we resume live action. And they'll give the point to North Carolina and say yes off the touch on that Lainey Smith attack.
Calling for a touch there. 6'3" sophomore Lainey Smith, transfer from Illinois. Having a pretty good performance so far today.
It's a 5-0 run right now for North Carolina. Kills from the back row. The block upstairs. More denials.
So Cal coming together. We see Desjardins coming back in now for Phils, putting her back on the floor as one of the leaders for the Bears. She'll go back in on the serve receive.
14-9, 6-0 run for the Tar Heels. Number 15 team in the country. Quick set to Scott. Hampton keeps it up. Smith puts it across. Carbonara rejected. Again, Smith, Shutter, teaming up.
And that's another play and another ball that I mentioned earlier with such a dominant team, especially a blocking team that you see how solid and over they are. I mean, the ball got to the block before Carbonara could get to it, really.
15-9 again. North Carolina not hitting well in this third set hasn't mattered because they're delivering service aces and they are blocking with authority. And then as I say that, they mix in a standard kill.
Malone with the swing there. You've seen her come in. She's had a couple of kills, hitting 500. So getting a different look.
Many aces, just 17th in the league in aces per set. They're putting on a clinic here today.
And not only that, Jackie Taylor, the sophomore middle blocker, is one of the ace leaders on the team, one of the young players. She has been expert behind the service line. I mean, she had 4 aces against Clemson in October, and the last few matches, 3 aces. She's someone that pushes a lot of points when she goes back to serve.
16-9, Tar Heels on a tear here in the third. Another! More aces from more Tar Heels. Sophie Hampton and the Carolina fans on the road here loving it.
And we'll see Popescu going out, and the sister of Elise Lau, Natalie Lau, in on the floor now.
So big opportunity here for Natalie Lau. She was the incumbent setter starter, played much of last season, went out about mid-September. Stierbu, the freshman, gets the opportunity, steps in, really didn't relinquish that role, and now Lau back for an opportunity.
They're coming in at a tough time here.
Nice job by Carbonara to keep it up and over. But then the kill for North Carolina. And if you're Jan Malcolm, you have to shake things up, right?
And for Lau, we see a lot of that positivity from her, but great hustle and great play there from the Bears. Unfortunate just to swing off the top of the tape. That's always hard when you're playing defense in a ball like that, because you're in a spot that you think you can read the ball well, and then something like that happens. But we'll see that point from Scott in the middle, and Lau already coming in, dishing out some assists for the Bears. So she comes in, pushes a couple of points there, and Stierbu now back in to serve as we go back into rotation 1 for the Bears.
A lot of smiles and hugs there on the sideline as Lau checks out. Her sister Elise Lau, and now Stierbu serving. And a kill for North Carolina, now 19-10.
Bridget Malone, 4 kills. She is hitting over 600. So when she has come in to get a look for the Tar Heels, she has been successful. No errors so far for Malone.
Big cheer from the crowd as number 4 Erin Curtis comes on, the outside hitter from Los Altos, California. That's near Stanford, so the one Bay Area native on this North Carolina roster out of St. Francis High School down in the peninsula has checked in.
I coached with her sister, Emily Curtis, who played at Villanova. So both of her sisters, another sister played at Santa Clara, so comes from a family of volleyball players. Her dad started Triangle Volleyball Club out in North Carolina. And we've seen a couple of the players, Lainey Smith, Emily Bobbitt, Erin Curtis, Maddie May, that have all played together at the club alongside their coach, Coach Shaw, who also was one of the directors at the club. So a lot of connections there for the Bay Area native and Erin Curtis.
And then she gets her hands on that one with the dig. Just the 20th set on the year for Curtis. May keeps that up. And then add another point for North Carolina. Maddie May seemingly in the center of everything. That's someone who never leaves the court. The senior from Winterville, North Carolina, has played every set her entire Tar Heel career.
She's really
ridiculous.
She has really been on a roll for this team and so solid. I mean, earlier this season, she had back-to-back games with 26 digs, setting and then tying her career high. Someone who's very important for that back row defense on the Tar Heels.
Lee jams it down.
Solid swing for Ashley Lee. She always brings that firepower. It doesn't matter what's happening on the floor for the Bears. Even in these tough moments, she always remains steady and brings a lot of fire and firepower to the floor.
Elise Lau serving 21-11 North Carolina. They've used an 8-0 run and a 3-0 run to take full control of this third set. Just off the block, fills the hustle, the joust. Scott puts it across. Big swing there again, and Lau trying, rather that was Lee trying to keep it up and could not.
Oh, it's always a tough one. Stierbu actually was there for the defense behind Lee. I know she wanted to try to save that ball off of that swing from Lainey Smith, but it doesn't go their way, unfortunately. So now, North Carolina, 22-11 here in the third set.
Zoe Barrett. To Scott, aiming towards that back row. Curtis handles. Thorpe, pancake there. Lee keeps it up. Malone has got to go across. Barrett does the job. Stierbu, Lee, May, quick set. Johnson, the dig for the Bears. Phil's on the move. Curtis, but not enough. The kill there for Cal.
Phil's pushing points for
is the ruling, and give the ball and the point to North Carolina. That's a big swing late in this third set.
So now change here. At point goes to North Carolina.
Stierbu now fills. Running out of room.
Oh, a little tough one there. A little bit of a laugh as one of the ball handlers caught the ball. It's a little tough because I think they were trying to see if they could get a hand on that one and trying to play it, so it's a little tough.
I think it would have been a tough one to get to, but something
Definitely.
that has to be allowed to play out.
Yep.
All with good intentions.
Great dig there from Johnson.
Lee, off the touch. Make it 23-13 now. Another kill for Ashley Lee. She's got 8 to lead the Bears.
Hey, you know, I've seen crazier things happen. Ball like that, I've had teammates who put the foot out, a little soccer kick, a little bicycle kick, and try to get that ball back in.
I think it helps the score that the Tar Heels are not more aggravated by what transpired there. Phil's rejected, and that brings up match point.
A huge block there for Chelsea Thorpe. So solid and so athletic. I mean, she had 7 blocks alone against Pitt last week.
24-13 here in the third. North Carolina going for the sweep, aiming to snap a 2-match skid. Pick up their 11th win in league play. Here's Bollinger serving. Stierbu, Lee, May keeps it up. Big swing there, a violation, and that's how this one will end. It'll go against the Bears, the point to North Carolina, and they leave Berkeley with a 3-0 sweep.